For keyword research, there's really only two tools you need to carry you 99% of the way there. SEMrush is a competitive research tool that will allow you to see where your competitors are, or even just do organic research yourself using keyword analysis and keyword searches and all of that. It's about $99 a month, but well worth it, I think, for the value you can get, not just for keyword research, but just competitive research in general. Moz's keyword difficulty tool is the supplement to that allows you to get metrics on keyword difficulty and also search volume, which SEMrush will give you. But with this tool, it'll allow you to know how can I rank, and if I need to rank for something, what I'm going to need to do in order to get there. And it's a good metric to add on to SEMrush when doing the keyword research that we'll get to in the next section of this video. So we start first, a good easy thing to start with is just taking your core keyword that is the obvious one in your space and doing some phrase match to see what kind of topics might make sense. So here I can just input SEO into SEMrush and it'll come back with all the long tail iterations of SEO. And we can see what makes the most sense. Because this is a very competitive space, stuff near the top is way more likely to be very difficult to rank for. So I can just scan through this, see that there is some junk here. I probably would want to rank for SEO services, training, not really, because you don't offer that as a service. We could write a blog post about tools and hypothetically drive some awareness of our brand. That might be a good thing. So what you would want to do here is take the keywords amongst these topics that make the most sense to you and then go to Google with that data in hand. Here we can use SEO tools, drop it in Google, and then what I like to do is take it a step further than just simply grabbing the keywords. So what matters is topics. Google is very good at topic optimization now. And so you're not just going to show up for one keyword, you're going to show up for that entire topic if you do this right. So to get a full sense of what the keyword opportunity is, you want to not just look at this keyword volume of 6,600, you also want to know the full topic. So the way I like to estimate that is to take who ranks number one, assuming we feel it is a good result and something that we might be able to compete with. This is a very established site in this business, but still probably worth looking at. And you grab that URL and then you input it into SEMrush. And what that'll do is it'll give you the total search traffic it estimates this page getting based on the long tail. So you see SEO tools is one keyword here, but there's also other things that this ranks for. It would be great to rank for SEO as well, just with the tools page, or free SEO tools, the singular version, SEO as a whole. It's such a huge volume term, but maybe they get some long tail from this. And you can see the total potential here is 9.8 thousand. Similarly, I like looking at the traffic cost metric that SEMrush has. It's a good way of communicating the potential value of a topic if you properly build it out and you rank well. It's based on what people are willing to bid on similar positions in paid. So if someone's spending $3 a click, SEMrush can guess how many clicks you're getting on those kinds of keywords and create a traffic cost metric, which is an easy way to validate spending a lot of money on a resource or a topic, because you know the output will be greater eventually. And this is a monthly value and is an important thing to look at when assessing the potential value of something you're going to build out. So when you do that, what you would want to do, and you can see a spreadsheet we reference here, what I like doing is putting the keyword, the topic. If we know it's SEO tools, generally it could be close to the keyword, but the general idea of what the post is going to be about, you put it as a topic, and then you grab who's number one for that thing, and then write down what their traffic is and what their traffic cost is to give a true estimate of the total market there. And then you would place also for research purposes what the top keyword is, and this can help you frame your optimization. Maybe you want to make that the sole focus, but not be the reason you put all the effort into it. And sometimes you might have a keyword set that is more long tail focused than fathead focused, because in some spaces just the high search volume will carry most of the weight, but in other ones you might have 10 to 20 keywords that all have 1,000 to 2,000 in volume, which can make up for a lot more value on the long tail and might be a little less competitive for that reason that most people are looking to spend their effort on seeing the keywords that have 9,900 in there, when in reality, what really matters is the total traffic opportunity. So if you do this analysis and you combine it together, you'll see the true potential of that set, and then you can start building a really big list here of different keywords and topics you can build out. But we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. Let's look at some other ideas of how to find the topics to populate that spreadsheet. Phrase match is an obvious one. Once you can just use your key keywords. Like I would start here with content marketing. I've done content. I did SEO, analytics, things like that. Link building, even though it's a little bit of a dying topic. All things that I would want to put in phrase match here. From there, a good place to start is also look at competitors. Who is also doing SEO publishing in the space? SEO book was an obvious one. So what you can do is put SEO book as a domain in here, and you'll get the full picture of what they rank for. And what I like doing here is not actually looking at their keywords. Again, it's really looking at the topics that are the highest traffic for them. You can do this under the pages function in SEMrush, where you just click pages, and you'll see what the highest traffic pages are as a percentage. You can't see the total numbers here, but just scanning through, you can get a general feel for what these pages are, and then get more data by simply opening SEMrush. So you can see people want to know, are they over optimized with keyword density? This is a popular page for SEO book. The tools is definitely their number one. Not a ton of really high volume stuff here, so maybe you want to explore other sites. But I mean, we could consider the keyword density tool. It's still good volume, and if we think we could do it better potentially, it might be worth going after. Except keyword density is a little bit of a dying thing in our space. But another obvious big publisher, if you're watching this video, you probably know of Moz, is Moz, and they have done a lot of content around SEO. And if potentially we think we might be able to take something to another level or even compete similarly, it might be worth doing. And you can see content like this, how to choose the right domain name. That might be a nice early stage topic for someone who might be interested in SEO services because they're about to build a business, but maybe they don't have the marketing department set up yet. So this could be something worth doing. And you can see we can get data on the traffic costs, and start compiling that in a spreadsheet. And with that, you can just really work from there. You keep building this list, you grab everything you think is relevant to you and your personas, your buyer personas, and just keep building the list over and over, adding detail to it, thinking of different competitors, other things you can do in the dashboard. You can see, if we go back to Moz, we can see there's also a cool competitive landscape tool in case you might not realize your market, or maybe it's a new client. You'll want to use this to really see who is winning and then base the research off of them. So you can see Search Engine Land is a huge publisher in the news space comparatively to Moz. So it's another site that we want to look at as a potential target for creating content like this. And you can see what is big there. The what is SEO that we mentioned here is one of the highest volume terms. Definitely early stage would be something we'd love to rank for, but is really highly competitive. You can also, if you are a big publisher, a valuable thing to do is domain versus domain, and it's a quicker way of identifying where you're seeing gaps and might want to create new posts relative to your competitors. So Moz and Search Engine Land, it's on the left side of SEMrush. Both are big publishers. Maybe Moz wants to identify keyword gaps, and they have pretty cool functionality. You can see here, just as maybe an argument to investors and things like that, where how much gap there is and how much more potentially Moz might be doing. Of course, this is a news site, so it's not one-to-one, but there could be something there. I like just clicking the competitor and getting their number one, their content ranking one relative to us, and see what's different. So you can see what is social media marketing. Maybe this doesn't make sense for Moz. They do have a social media marketing guide, so that could be something it's worth considering putting on their spreadsheet for something like this. And maybe for us, even though we're more SEO focused. And what I'm normally looking for, especially with value here, is what has the highest volume and also has a gap between our ranking and their ranking. And it's an easy way to identify the biggest opportunities by doing this kind of analysis. You can see Google versus Bing versus Yahoo. Apparently people want to see comparisons. 140 is not super high demand, so I'm not at this stage super worried about that. But you can keep scrolling through here, and this is just one example, but you might be able to find something interesting here. High volume here. Old search engines, interesting. But as Search Engine Land has the one up there, Elliott search engine, apparently that's a niche search engine that exists. Things like that are good ways of building out your own topic base, doing this with other people. I think it's most valuable if they're big publishers, but otherwise it can be good to also see keyword optimization opportunities on existing pages, not just for new topics. Maybe you add a keyword here, you need to add a section on what is social media marketing in your social media marketing guide. Things like that can all come from looking at this domain versus domain analysis that we do here. The next piece from there is once you have keywords, you want to start getting a feel for the difficulty. Volume is one thing and traffic cost is one thing, but you want to also know that you can rank for it, because a lot of people will go out and build a lot of content but have no chance in ranking. So Moz's keyword difficulty tool is great for that. It's fast, it's effective. And what you do is you put in a few keywords and you can easily get data on the difficulty. And what Moz does is combine a few of their metrics, domain authority, page authority of what's ranking there, how optimized things seem to be there, and create a score. It's not perfect, but it's a generally pretty strong indicator. And especially if you got a team, it's a good thing to lean on as a potential metric in terms of how to prioritize where you start. So you can see what is SEO. It had a ton of search volume, but is highly competitive. We added a slash there, which is why we're not getting the true difficulty, but you can see super, super, super competitive. Not something we will probably want to make for a long time, because Search Engine Land and Moz have been publishing for years and daily, and they've got this dialed in. You can see if you back it up to the metrics, also like just doing this analysis of the page myself, you can see how many links are coming in, like 1,000 links. That's pretty incredible. This number 2 is 7,000. Moz surprisingly ranks well here, probably just due to authority, but it might be a latch on to this beginner's guide, which has 2,000 links again, and that kind of 1-2 is getting these rankings. So we don't even have close to that authority, and not many people in this space do, because we're not publishing at the same volume that these people are publishing. So not something we want to go after, but adding this metric to your sheet will give you a qualitative or quantitative guideline as to where to start, and it can be extremely valuable in terms of picking a topic that you can rank for first, and then ladder up eventually to the higher difficulty content, if that makes sense for you. As you can see, our spreadsheet here, if I want to filter by, let's see, like less than 50%. Actually, this is what we do. Less than. And we see this is a highly competitive market. Not much exists there. But if we go to 60, we can get a better grasp of the lower competition terms. If we're a new site, we're probably not going to be able to rank for anything that's in the 70 to 80 range. Oh, definitely. So it would be, even if you had the most amazing content, it would be really a bad idea to go after that. And there are plenty of examples of good content right now that just hasn't found its way to that first page for that reason. So it's best idea to start at the 60 range. Even if you have a decent amount of authority, you might not be able to rank for some of these. But if you think you can build 20, 30 links and really grind out more of them, there is opportunity to rank for these things. So this, for us, would be a good starting point. We have a decent amount of authority, and with some links, there's a good indicator that we can rank for some of these. For example, I included this on this list, how to find someone's email. We actually do rank page 1 for that. and just from an old post, because it's not very competitive. It's not super valuable. A lot of these people are probably not SEOs that are looking for this, and that leans into why it's not as valuable. A metric I haven't talked about yet, but it is important, is KOB score. So what KOB score is, you can calculate it any way you want, but it's essentially a metric to determine a potential benefit based on the the value you can get from it times the difficulty. And there's other ways of doing this. The people have done more advanced takes on this. Stunt Double is one of the first people, I think was the first person who came up with this score, but essentially the idea that it gives you a way to prioritize in an easier fashion, because it will essentially multiply the cost times the difficulty to create a new metric, and the higher the difficulty, the lower the score is going to be, and therefore it won't be as valuable to go after it. So what you want to do is then look at this and say, clearly we can sort by KOB score and get a feel for the true the true opportunity that's available for these. And it doesn't mean one-to-one. Like, not all of these might have the traffic cost, the true value to us of this number, and not all of these will. It's kind of just a general indicator that maybe someone might be close to the bottom of the funnel for some of these things. And email signature, probably if you have some kind of tool that will allow you to auto-generate that, that might be more valuable. So it might not technically have that value to us, and I'd probably argue that. But something like content marketing examples, I'd probably agree has good value for us, even though it's low search volume. And that might be something we do want to go after for that reason: high KOB score, low difficulty. And those kinds of things can all work into your keyword research process. And if you just spend a lot of time building this out, I like putting the data on the right of the actual URLs, looking at the volume, using Moz to get the difficulty score, and you can build a valuable asset here that you can leverage to prioritize the topics you want to create. And then from there, just keep building on it, build the next topic, see how you rank, build the next topic. You feel like you get in the 70s, build that, and just keep going and going, and eventually, hopefully, have a really healthy business and website that has generated a lot of links and a lot of value. So this has been the guide on how to do keyword research. I hope it was useful. If you have any more questions, feel free to shoot me an email or get in contact with us through our website, and I'd be happy to answer them. Thank you.